I was thinking about my own yoga experience and how I started yoga. I've never really been deep into the practice of yoga, but because I'm a very physical person, I remember in 2018, I was at a crossroad between what I really want to do with my life. And I think I felt a bit in the dumps. I won't say I was depressed, but I remember this one day. I got up in the morning and I didn't felt like moving. I just didn't feel like moving. I didn't feel like exercising anymore. Nothing makes sense at all. And I can't remember, but somebody shared this app with me. It was called Yoga Life. And I'm like, yoga? Yoga is only for girls. Yeah, and that's what I literally said. And then the person said, no, 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 guys also do yoga as well. So I decided, you know what, let me give this a try. Yeah, so I started, just doing the basic yoga movement, and it started feeling good. I feel like, I'm stretching my body and I'm getting all the things that I need to get out. And it was very relaxing, very calming, and very soothing. And up to this day, since 2018, I've always stepped on my mat in the morning and give my body a good flow. And this is one of the reasons why I'm super excited about this session.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday and we take questions and answers from the audience, some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy.
If you want to learn more about this retreat that we're going to be having next year, you can go ahead, scan the QR code, and let's get this party started. Now, this is going to be one of our first offline NLP experience in a long time. We know COVID has been, a troublesome boy keeping us online, but it's going to happen next year, 2024. Make sure you get all the information and make sure you're there. This is just some picture of the location that we're going to be at, and it's going to be the beginning of something great. Okay, so take a screenshot now. Yeah, make sure you don't miss it. Make sure you have all the information. And if you have any additional questions, you can go ahead, ask myself, Darko, or Adrian, so that you can get those answered. Also, I'm your host, Dino Delplesh, and I'm the creator of the Level Up Leader movement. I believe I'm cultivating a passionate community of high achievers and equipping them with the business strategies and high performance habit that they need to inspire and empower the next generation.
Well, here we're talking about our own definition, our own experience in yoga. So it's still yoga. It's still yoga experience. And yeah, today I really wanted to emphasize that yoga is not something one fixed thing. There are many roots of yoga, many different types of yoga, and many different types of definitions of yoga. And then it is a learning journey, lifelong journey. And today I'm gonna just share glimpse of my own experience. So this was 10 years ago me. I just graduated college and I get into my first full-time job. I'm super, super proud of myself. And in the morning, every morning, I'm just rushing to go to work, prepare, and then go to the office, and then work. After work, I go to the gym and I work out. And after workout, I get back to home, I take a bath, and I sleep. The next day, the same thing happening over and over and over again. I thought I was living a pretty good life. Perfect work-life balance, isn't it? Full-time job and workout in the gym. And I was also a very beloved employee because by my boss loved me, my manager loved me because I was working super hard. I never late. I was always on time. I never late beyond the deadline. I always met beyond the deadline. And I had a great achievement. My manager was about to promote me. And until something came to me. I don't know what happened. It's just out of a blue. One day, I just feel like, meh, like I don't want to do anything. But as usual, as my habit, I prepare, I rush to go to work, I sit down in the office, I look at my computer, and I have no idea what I'm doing here. But I've been doing that for years. So as my habit, I've been just doing whatever I'm doing and going to the gym and work out and then go home. And I thought tomorrow might feel better. I didn't know what it was. Right now, I know that is a burnt out, we call it now. But at that time, I didn't know what's going on in my life. The next day, I feel the same thing, even plus headache. The next day, I feel the same thing, even plus back pain, whatever. So one day, I have this my entire body, inside and outside, was feeling awful. I still went to gym and I couldn't do any workout. I was looking at the machine and I was like, what am I doing here? And I turned my side and I see the yoga class inside of gym going on. I've been doing yoga. I know what is yoga. I practiced yoga before, but it's like, well, it's stretching, it's not like intensive go workout. It's boring. So, but at that time, I couldn't do anything. So let's just join the yoga class. And in the end of the class, the teacher said, let's calm ourselves down before we close the session. Take a deep breath in. Out. Another, take a deep breath in. And out. And when the teacher said, let's take a last deep breath in and out, my tears dropped. I don't know why. My tears dropped. I quietly began to cry in the yoga class. And I believe that was my beginning of the real yoga journey, because that was the moment when I experienced what yoga is. Yoga in Sanskrit word it means unite. It unites the mind, spirit, and body. We have a spirit, we have a spiritual energy. I believe like people who at least heard of yoga, heard about energy, or heard about chakras, heard about spirit. We are a spiritual being. And also we have mind. But we're also owning our own body. We cannot detach ourselves from body. So throughout our life, ever since we're born, I believe what we're practicing until we die is literally uniting, coming together, balancing our spirit and mind and body. And yoga is one of the tools that helps to bring all three of us together. And that's what I experienced through that breathing practice, because I was literally living my life like this. Oh, I need to go to work. I need to finish deadline. Hurry, hurry. I need to go to workout. Hurry, hurry. But when I started to breathe, I realized that I wasn't aware of what my spirit was screaming at me, what my mind was screaming at me, even what my body was screaming at me through those headaches and through the back pains, through all different pains. My body, spirit, mind was screaming at me that you need something. And that's when I met yoga. And my yoga journey started like that, very interestingly, starting from cry, not from some other poses. And today I want to share 3 main elements of yoga that I learned from my entire journey. But that doesn't mean that 3 elements of yoga is not all. We have 8 limbs of yoga, and even each of limbs, we have 10 niyamas, 10 yamas. So within those limbs, we also have all different branches. And you see this asana, which is postures that we say about we do yoga poses, right? We do like this yoga poses. Those are just 1 out of 8 limbs of yoga. And today I'm going to just introduce 3 elements of yoga through my experience, share the stories, and how we can incorporate these 3 elements in our life. So I'm going to teach also 3 simple techniques from it. So this will be my anchor movement. I just put this video in for your reference. Those who doesn't know this pose, wheel pose. In Sanskrit word, we call it Ujjba Dhanurasana. So this is a wheel pose. Very challenging pose. It took me years to practice this. And this poses is like it has all my stories, hate and love. It was the pose that I hated most, but right now I love the most. And throughout this one asana, one posture, I learned incorporate the 3 key elements of yoga. So the first, breath. In Sanskrit, we call it pranayama. So I began my yoga journey with Ashtanga, one of type of the yoga, and I met my Ashtanga teacher. Ashtanga is a series of yoga postures which you practice every day, all day, every day. So it has a multiple different asanas, the same series. You're practicing the same same set of a movement. Entire series lasts 1 to 1.5 hours in the elementary level, which is we call it primary series. And after you move on to the intermediate series, and I'm not going to go deep. So in the Ashtanga, when I was practicing the yoga and practicing this wheel pose, my teacher was telling me, get down. And I was like, why? I was up. And then my teacher, get down. You're not breathing. I can't breathe in this pose. When you literally floor, and it's really difficult to breathe about the posture. Yoga is about the breath. So without the breath, there is no yoga. There is only a posture. So my teacher didn't let me do that posture, even though I could, but holding my breath in. She never let me do that until I breathe properly. So it took me a very long time to actually learn how to breathe. What I should have done is when I'm upside down and then my arm is like this, my shoulder is all tensed up. But when I started to breathe, my shoulder began to really relax. And my upper body began to feel very light in this pose. And when you see this, in this pose, before I go deep, I need to take 5 breaths in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of fastly speed this video, but before I go deep, I needed to take a deep breath in for 5 times until I do this 3 times. And we don't do this more than 3 times because the yoga teachers always teach us not to be obsessed at the yoga posture. So they didn't let me practice one posture for more than 3 times because unless we're going to get obsessed. So that was the first practice. And here I want to also teach one very simple technique that we can incorporate breath in our yoga practice and breath in our life. So the first very simple technique. Who doesn't brush their teeth here? Raise your hand. Anyone? Okay. Who brushes teeth every day? Raise your hand. Okay. Everyone brushes their teeth every day? 3 times a day? 1 time a day? Okay, everyone brushes their teeth, right? So, how do you brush your teeth? How? For me, I want to finish this. I want to finish this as quick as possible. Here, I want you to practice. Starting from today, in the bathroom, you grab your brush. Take a deep breath in and relax. And brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Mindfully. Relax your body. Tell your body that you don't have to hold your breath. Pranayama. Prana in Sanskrit is life energy. Breath gives you energy. You can't hold your breath. In your life, many times, there are really, really difficult situations comes when, teacher, I can't breathe in this situation. I'm broke. I'm literally financially, I can't breathe. Or teacher, hey boss, I can't breathe. I'm literally piled up with my work in this office. I can't breathe. I need to brush quickly. I want to go to bed. I can't breathe. I don't have time to breathe. I need to brush quick so that I can go to sleep. Here, just stop and take a deep breath in and out. Pranayama is a very, very key element of yoga that brings energy to everything else in our life. And breath is a part of yoga, and it's part of our life energy and life source. So I want to challenge you in your tonight when you're brushing your teeth, check how you brush and try to adjust. In office, when you're writing an email, check whether your shoulder is tensed up or not. When you're cooking, when you're eating, when you're doing phone, when you're texting, check if you are breathing or not, if you're holding a breath or not. Yeah. Now let's move on to the second element, key element of yoga, discipline. In Sanskrit, more called tapas. So discipline, this is very, very still challenging for me. In Ashtanga, we have to practice 6 times a week. We need to get up before the sunrise to practice Ashtanga together with sunrise, and 6 times a week. So imagine this Ashtanga practice is very, very tough. 1.5 hours after you can't, like, you're all sweat, and then you do this for 6 times a week. And when I began, even right now, some days I'm super good, I'm super energetic. Wow, I'm so flexible, I can do this, I can do that. And some day I can't. Like, I've been doing this back bend yesterday, and today somehow I cannot. Trust me, I'm not always like that. The video I showed you, I'm not always like that. Every day is different. I told teacher, hey, I'm doing this every single day and I'm not seeing improvement. Some days I'm even deproving, you know? And look at that student, you know, we started together and she's better than me. And my teacher said, what did she say? Stop looking at others. Look at yourself. Look your inner self. And just show up to the mat. Show up on your mat. Yoga is not a posture. Yoga is tapas, discipline. So that's when I began to learn what discipline is. Discipline is showing up on the mat every single day, no matter what. What I feel no matter what is no matter what you feel today, no matter how you feel. So there was a moment where I was really pushing myself really, really hard. And I felt really disappointed. And I quit. I said, I'm done with Ashtanga. I'm done with Ashtanga because I had my expectation on myself, and that expectation is mostly the posture. I wanted to do this posture, and I've been practicing for years, and it never reached. So I'm done with it. And then my teacher texts me, where are you? Why you're not showing up? And I was like, oh, teacher, I don't think for me. I don't think I need to find some other yoga, you know, this is not for me. And she said, just show up on your mat and breathe in, breathe out. And I said, okay. And I stopped for a while, and then I began to do it again, starting from breath. And that discipline, showing up every day on the mat, that is a power. That is a courage. You don't have to do handstand to practice tapas. You don't have to do push-up or such a hard-looking posture to practice tapas. Get on your mat, even though you're sad, even though you feel tired, even though you don't feel like doing it. Get on your mat, take a deep breath in and out, and you practice tapas. So here, I have another breathing technique that I want you to practice. So make sure you look at right and left. There's no obstacles. Okay? So this is an energy breathing technique. that I practice when I don't feel like doing it. When I don't feel like getting on a mat, I practice this. So I'll show you first, and then we'll do the same thing. So first, take a deep breath in. You got it? Very simple. Okay? We're gonna do all together. So take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in. Yes. One more time. That's the beginning of the yoga. Tapas. That is one key element that I learned over and over and over, many times of failure in yoga, many times of failure, and I wanted to give up, but I still practicing it because I know this element of yoga. I know yoga is not just a posture. I know yoga is not just about my expectation. I just remember tapas and bring my mind and spirit body together. Yeah, great. So last but not least, this is also a very challenging element that I'm still practicing it over and over again. So letting go, pratyahara. This is one key element of yoga where basically it means like detaching yourself from feelings, detaching yourself from even yourself, your ego. So when I'm back to the practice of this back bend or Badanrasana, I've been practicing very well. Yeah, following my discipline, following my tapas, my back bend began to become so deep that I could catch my ankle with my hand. I could walk, 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 and catch my ankle with my hand. And I began to really proud of, wow, I really see my improvement. And until one day, something weird feeling like comes up, like boo, like woo, so weird feeling. Every time I practice the back bend, I wanted to like cry out loud, and I don't know where this feeling comes from. And one day I end up crying again. This is my second time. The second time ever since I joined the yoga journey, like I cried out loud. And my yoga teacher said, let it go. Your body is healing yourself because our body has a memory cells, and we think like those energy are not physical, but it's all physical. Those negative energies that we experience, those traumatic experience that we experience throughout our life, it literally accumulates in your body, mainly through the body places that we don't rarely move, including congruence, like we don't rarely move, including the spinal bones, we don't rarely like move out long. That's where all those weird yoga poses come in. You see a lot of weird poses, like what is those poses? Like those weird twisting and bending and lifting, all these weird poses comes because trying to stimulate those parts where we usually don't move, those small muscles, because those energies accumulate there and just accumulate. And we also call it blockages. Blocking something. You feel something blocked in your energy. You feel always something tired or some weird, or every time there's a trigger that you encounter something and then feeling like when I try to do a back bend and I wanted to cry it out loud, that we call it energy block and blockage in the energy, and that is accumulate in your body physically. That's why I always tell spiritual practitioners that you need to incorporate yoga or other movements, body movement. You can't grow spiritually without body because you are the owner of body. You can't outgrow your body. You can't. Your spiritual growth cannot outgrow without your body. That's why the spiritual growth should incorporate the body movements. We also say yoga. That's where your yoga comes out of the 8 limbs. The yoga asana comes out of the 8 limbs of yoga. And I cried out loud, and then starting from there, I don't know what something happened. I could not practice back bend because it was so hurting. I had so many back pains, so hurting that I couldn't even sleep. I went to the doctor. I took an x-ray. Doctor said, I don't see any problem here. Okay. I see your physiotherapy. She said, I don't see any problem here. You just need to relax. And then, okay. And again stopped going to the yoga class. And then my teacher again text me, where are you? You haven't been showing up for a while. My teacher is very harsh teacher. Like, I have a back pain, teacher. I cannot practice yoga anymore. And she said, yoga is not just a posture. Just show up, come and show up on your mat and do as much as you can. So, as my teacher said, I show up in the yoga. I could not even try the back bend that I showed in the video. I could not do that anymore. But I still lie down, breathe in. I accept myself. It's okay. Today, I'm showing up here and I love as it is, as who I am right now. Just being present. And as I begin movement again and again and again, and I'm still showing up on the mat, I get back and all of a sudden I feel like I could breathe in and out so naturally in that movement, in that back bend. And I feel so light. And after many months now the Urvadanrasana, I feel happiness when I'm doing that posture. I feel joy. I feel so light, so much light and happiness. And this is the transformative journey that I experienced through yoga. And my last yoga technique that I wanted to teach you here is this. I'll show you once and we'll do it together. Letting go. Together, take a deep breath in. Just let go everything. Let go everything. Relax your body. Relax. You can relax more, even more. Even more. You can do it. One more. You can even relax even more. There are more tensions. Feel the tension and relax. Let it go. Even in your face. Let go. Let go of your face tension. Let go of the tension between your eyes. Let go of the tension in your face muscle. Let go of the tension in your neck. Let go of the tension in your shoulder, in your body. Yes. Yes. The reason I shared my stories and these 3 elements of yoga is because yoga is not a posture. I'm not sure what you all expected from this webinar. Maybe some learning postures, or maybe you're a yoga class, you attended yoga classes and they teach you yoga postures. That's great. What I wanted to tell you is that yoga is not only about the posture, but it incorporates all different elements of discipline, pranayama, tapas, pratyahara, and other elements of disciplines. And yoga is a lifelong journey. There's no end to it. We're going on and on and on, accepting who I am today and try to get better tomorrow. Yeah. So before I close the presentation, I just wanted to invite all of you to the 7 days challenge, we say. It's a chakra harmony, unleashing your inner balance. This is completely free. I just created this so that I myself also get disciplined, as well as I want others to also get disciplined and learn more about the yoga. Interestingly, this is an audio course. It's not a video that I'm teaching you how to do yoga movements. My role here is helping you to guide you to the yoga journey so that you can find your own guru. I may not be your guru, but I want you to find your own teacher. There are many, many yoga teachers, many, many yoga YouTube contents or other video contents. My job here is to introduce you to the yoga journey. And this 7 days audio course, hopefully it can introduce you to your lifelong yoga journey. And it hasn't been released yet. It will be released on July 3rd. There will be audio course together with a yoga journal, and it will be released on July 3rd. If you scan the QR code, you can be in a wait list so that we can give you an announcements before. So I'll be really excited for you to join. And if anyone who wants to connect me in person one-on-one, just feel free to scan my WeChat. Let's connect and let's talk about yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I would love to close our yoga session with Om last time. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dassel. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation and session. That was very enlightening. And it literally changed my definition of what yoga is. I think coming out of this session, what I'm seeing yoga is now, yoga is a medium through which we are getting more we are connecting our mind, body, and spirit. Yeah, because as you were sharing, I think about myself. I started Taekwondo when I was 12. And the same things that you're saying is what my instructor would tell us. Yeah, without breath, everything that you do doesn't make sense. Your kicks would be useless, your punch would be useless. And what we used to do most of the time, the reason why we do those physical movement is so that we can learn to breathe properly. And when we learn to breathe properly, our body moves. And a lot of time, people from the outside who don't understand martial arts would see, oh, no, it's just jumping and kicking and being flexible. But it's one of the best discipline to learn about yourself and getting closer to that part of yourself that you don't even know. So I want to thank you, for sharing light on that.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.